Hey, what's going on? I'm Jaron Benson. I'm a real estate agent in Portland, Oregon. I'm so excited today to tour through this absolute luxury English cottage renovation in historic Irvington neighborhood of Portland, Oregon with the artist and craftsman who renovated the home, John McCulloch of McCulloch Construction. John is an absolute visionary when it comes to his renovations. As he says in the video, he's not just doing it for commodification, he's doing it as an art piece. He spares absolutely no expense in his projects. So we talk about the process and we talk about the art in this video. Everything from the thatch style English cottage roof that's actually made of cedar. You have to hear about the process that it took to create this roof, to the Morris wallpaper inspired detail in the kitchen. So much to talk about. I'm so excited to bring this video to you. Enjoy. All right, John, thanks for meeting us here. In our industry, selling homes, we got the term fix and flip. Now, I've walked through a few of your projects before. The term flip doesn't even begin to justify the art that you put into these homes. You are an expert craftsman and restoration master. Why don't you talk to us about kind of where this home started and how you got it to this point?
So one of the really fun things is you think about, first of all, we pursue this as art. So then how do we come up with a design that fits a house? So we're doing the opposite of commodification. We are not trying to figure out how to make money on doing this home. We're trying to figure out how to make the home live. So how do we do that? What's the plan here? So one thing we do is develop themes. For example, this is an English cottage. So how did we come up with the treatment? So walk in here and you'll notice we're trying to get into the ultimate authenticity. So this house is English cottage. We know that because we see the roof that is meant to emulate thatch. So what's the most famous English cottage? That's the Anne Hathaway cottage.
Okay.
Shakespeare's wife. That's where you go. So when was that built? It was built in 1463. So we want to get some nice detailing out of the 60s. So what are some of the 60s detailing? Well, these scallops up here in the cabinetry, totally 60s, the 1460s.
1460s. I know when John talks about the 60s, it's not the 1960s.
Right.
It's not even the 1760s. Okay, the 1460s.
So it's that Renaissance era.
Yes.
Okay, and so then the next thing we have are these panels, and that is to go with Morris. So this is a little piece that shows Morris wallpaper.
Okay.
And he started by sketching all these panels, and lots of squares that he worked into all of his work.
Okay.
So we pick that theme up because he's trying to get. Okay, that's the neighbor again. Okay, so this little detail is also the next thing that Morris was all about, was working in these great little natural details into things.
Okay.
So here we find a real vintage 20s light.
Okay.
And we've got the finish. We've refinished all of these so that they all match, and they bring out this little touch of Morris cottage natural detail.
Yeah.
So then how do we make this place live in a way that's really authentic?
Okay.
So we've got this great little kitchen porch out here. Your experience of a house has a lot to do with looking out over the kitchen sink.
Yes.
So here we've got this view we've got the window centered on the porch. There wasn't a window here before.
Yeah.
And we've got this little lovely garden gate there. And then the fence is kind of a fun little detail that is also based on Anne Hathaway garden. She has a little fence, English garden out there. And then you're centered on the tree.
Yeah.
And then in here, this is the idea of an English ingle nook. And that's kind of a fun little quiet bower. So you've got your fireplace and your cabinetry. And then we cut out the floor of the attic and vaulted it so we have these skylights.
Oh, wow.
Our original kitchen had one small window. We know how important the kitchen is to the way we live today. So now you've got 4 huge windows, 2 skylights, and 13 French doors. You've got it reoriented to get the good southern light and the eastern light.
Yeah.
So you now have over 30 times as much light as the kitchen had originally.
Yeah. What about these doors? I have a feeling that there's got to be a story behind these doors. They look, I mean, these might be from 1460. Mm-hmm. Are they?
Well, okay, so this idea, these are French Cremone bolts. And one of the fun things is when we got these were just fixed windows here.
Okay.
But I knew that they used to build wooden decks with no roof, like a porch, on these houses. And the idea was you could sit outside and you would meet the right sort of people so that you would have, you would find somebody to hire your young son for work, a business owner, and you'd find somebody to marry your daughter, hopefully a business owner. And so you'd get them, you'd sit out here and hobnob with the neighbors. However, the year that this house was built in 23, cars were already coming out. So suddenly people weren't used to that. These weren't your neighbors anymore. They could be strangers out for a drive. So you didn't want to sit out there and have dinner. It was too public.
Yeah.
So suddenly none of this deck got designed. That's why these were drawn like this, to be windows by the original architect. I mean, to be French doors, but they were never turned into French doors. So we took the old window that should have been a French door and cut it in half and made a door. And we poured this concrete patio where it originally should have been, but never quite got built because of the invention of the car.
Wow.
And then
That's a story that I don't think many people would know about when they're buying a home. I mean, seriously. But one thing, John, like of the homes that I've toured with you, one thing I noticed is, like, it's so much harder. I know that it's so much harder to restore old original stuff and make it fit right and make everything square and plumb and make sure the hardware feels like it works well and like it's well oiled and stuff. Any idea how much extra labor that all takes?
Yeah, it's enormous. And in fact, if you shut this door, open this and shut it and just feel that mechanism.
Yeah, I can already tell. Yeah.
See, that shuts like a Jaguar. You know, it just feels great.
It does.
And this is a door from the 1880s. We brought this to this house to add more of that old kind of cottagey feel.
Yeah.
And then when you open this up, we have these beautiful hinges.
Oh, look at this.
And these are, you know, hundreds of dollars extra that nobody will see unless they have that door open all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And part of that is just that obsession with excellence.
Yeah.
And that's the idea, you know, the Statue of Liberty, when they brought her over, the hairdo on top is perfect, even though nobody can ever see the hairdo on top. And when that was built, there weren't people passing over with airplanes to see it.
Yeah.
It was done right. And that's the details matter even where you don't see them.
Yeah.
You try to get everything right. And
absolutely.
It's a huge amount of extra work, but it's just that.
Yeah.
It's the history that you're building into the place.
Let's go upstairs next. All right, so now we're standing in what was an unfinished attic. When I toured this home originally, it was down to the studs. I climbed up a ladder and in that window, and you had emailed me a floor plan, and I thought, wow, it's going to feel cramped up here. And was I wrong? Because, I mean, the skylights, this room feels great. And the whole rest of this floor plan up here feels great. So talk us through it.
So in a master bedroom, you want a couple of things. So first of all, you don't want the bed chamber to be too big because you can't sleep as well. It turns out if you could make this bedroom 3 times the size, you would not sleep well. Mm-hmm. This is close to the ideal size. Blue is the ideal color to help you sleep. And then you want to have adequate closet space. In here, we have 7 closets. So you probably haven't noticed there's another one section in here.
Oh. Oh, wow.
So we put on a dormer here so we could add space. So this wasn't here when you were here before.
Yeah.
And then we've got all kinds of great closet spaces. And notice none of these are the same.
Yeah.
So you've got different possible uses for arranging shoes and purses and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then you've got this
beautiful,
wonderful long vanity, a sit-down makeup area. Little place where somebody can work. And then in here, you've got this
skylight.
Yeah, you've got a skylight in your shower, and the skylight opens so you can get the steam out and fresh air in. So you just start your day in this life-affirming, exciting way.
Yeah.
We've got the sun tunnels in addition to all the skylights.
Yeah. Yeah.
And notice back here where you wouldn't even think there is anything.
Oh, there's another cutout.
All right, let me show you one of my favorite rooms. You're gonna love this. And one little thing, remember, with cottage, that's your chance. It's not the most impressive, ostentatious big house. It is the sweetest little house. So you can feel there's something very homey about this space. Now look into this little alcove bed. Look in there. Notice your three
more arches.
3 arches inside the big arch. Look at that beautiful vintage light in there. Just a perfect place for some kid to
love that.
To read and then you've got these spaces also. This is kind of a fun little one. So we put in a light switch in here. So you've got a playroom in here and they can connect.
Oh, that's cool. If there's one thing I know about being a kid, that you love going in these little circles.
You're exactly right.
Oh my God.
And I tried this on a couple of kids, and each one has done the laps, and they've all just said to their parents, I want to live here. I love this room. So this is exactly what a kid dreams of.
Amazing.
And then this fun little space, we built this desk to look like an antique. That's a brand new one.
Yeah.
It's got all these little columns carved out.
It's new, but it's antiqued to look.
Yeah, it looks like it's old, but it's brand new.
Oh wow, it's amazing.
And then over here,
love this.
You've got this fun little deal. And
the hidden bookshelf. Go down.
Just what every kid wants. Now, one thing we want is to have an upstairs laundry. So we've got this laundry space, but where do you fold your clothes?
Okay.
Oh yes, so we built this to be a clothes folding station. And then these have the exact room to have a hamper on either side so you can sort darks and lights in your kitchen and so on.
Excellent.
So everything is just thought out to such a degree. Check this out. You've got this beautiful tile that's made from abalone.
Okay.
Okay, and then you've got this. Notice how this light works with the shells. It has the same kind of glamorous feel, and this has the kind of glam feeling.
Yeah.
And then the pink is a little trick where your guests come into the powder room and they look healthier because of the pink glow. So they come back to the table feeling better about themselves and everything's a little bit better.
Oh, there's nothing that hasn't been thought of. All right, let's do a pass outside, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're in the side yard and we've got a sunken seating area. And what's that?
So we project movies there. It's just wonderful at night. You turn off the rain. Unless you're showing a classic like Singing in the Rain, that would be the exception. And then you've got this great little theater and you're sunken down into the ground so you have more privacy.
Yeah.
And then a fire pit so you can have warmth and atmosphere. And with the rain sound on, you've got privacy.
So John, when I was here, when you were down to the studs of this home months ago, probably this winter sometime, and I called out the wrap, the English Cottage wrap around roof,
Wait, are you saying it was your idea?
No, I called it out because I said, I've seen a lot of composition shingle do that, but I've never seen cedar do that.
Right.
And you told me that you did it yourself, or your team did this. So talk to me about that process.
Well, here's what I'll say. So because this is to emulate a thatched roof, I wanted to do something exciting and really take advantage of that opportunity
Yeah.
to rise to the challenge. So the first thing I did was try to hire a team of thatchers to come over from England. Well, it turns out what they thatch with that looks like hay is actually reeds that grow in England where they're harvesting them in different parts of Great Britain. So that wouldn't work particularly. Also, they're very popular right now, so there's a 7-year wait list, and it's about $300,000 if you were in England wanting it. So it's, probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
So then we got this cedar that's from Canada. It's old growth, so it has very tight rings, and you can bend it further. We filled in this. We dug out a big pond with our excavator, and lined it with plastic, and then built wooden pools, and lined them with plastic and filled them, so that we could soak these shingles for 4 months so they could become more plastic. And then we had a man lift with multiple microwave ovens on it, and we microwaved each shingle for 4 minutes and put it on hot. So.
No kidding. Wow. I don't even have a response for that.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday when I was pulling up the house, I looked on Google Earth to see what it looked like, or on Google Maps, and I did a street view, and it was just like, this is all flat, a couple trees, the house sat up from the ground, but none of this retaining wall, none of this front patio that you described. All of this was your design as well.
Yeah, and like I said, this fence is inspired by the Anne Hathaway cottage. This is what you'll see at Shakespeare's wife's house, except modified a little bit to make it a little more popular for Portland. It's got a little almost Asian rhythm to the lattice work. And then we've got these vining plants that will fill in. So this is a honeysuckle, which will attract birds and butterflies. Mm-hmm. This is an Escallonia plant. It's called Pink Princess, and it will have pink flowers spring, summer, fall. And that is because that goes with the English garden tradition. But this can grow, it's hedgeable at any height. So you pick how much privacy versus community you want. So this is a great neighborhood. You should want to meet the neighbors, they'll be great. But you can get too much of the neighbors maybe, and so you pick how high you want.
So you can go to 6-8 feet high if you want to.
Absolute
possible
privacy.
That's such a nice touch. All right, John, thank you so much for running us through this home. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's everything I expected and more. And one thing I love about you is there's always a story to be told. And we got 100 stories in this home tour. So thank you for that. Now, I know this home is yours. You bought it, designed it, did all this from the ground up, and now you're selling it. But that's not what your full business is. You do work like this all over town for all kinds of clients. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, one of the exciting things is we've now completed 1,000 projects.
Wow.
So this house is at about that 1,000 mark. Yeah. And so we've gotten to work with every kind of person. We've helped realtors, we've helped homeowners, we've helped, at this point, with 2.5 decades of doing this, almost 3, I've worked with so many people. I can walk into their old houses, figure out how they could design the garden and the house, and it's just a great gift to be able to share.
Congratulations on this. It's an absolute masterpiece, and I'll share all of your company information on the video and everything, and so thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That was my conversation with John McCulloch of McCulloch Construction. There was so much more to this home that we didn't cover in the video. I'm going to play some B-roll of it here, including a beautiful corner den office on the main level, looking out over the street, tons of light, and a basement with good ceiling height and a lot more living space, including a rumpus room, a TV room, a large bathroom, and another bedroom with all of the detail that is in the rest of the home. So nothing wasn't thought of in this home in the way that it lives, in the way that it's designed, and every little touch. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. But more than anything, I make a living as a real estate agent and investor in Portland, Oregon. If you've got a home that you're looking to sell, please reach out. And if you need help touring a property or any advice, I'm here for that as well. Have a good day.